Here, chapter 9 in Rabbit at Rest. I think this is wrong. Oh, this is a Commander-in-Chief. Okay, this is Commander-in-Chief, right? By Mark Greaney. Who is Mark Greaney? Putnam's Sons. They're supposed to go off to war, go someplace else. G.P. Putnam's Sons, right? 1838. Right? Random House, Hudson Street. Now, who, maps by Jeffrey L. Ward. They're supposed to go to war, right? Okay, this is not Rabbit at Rest anymore. They really were trying to go through my stuff and hassling that they knew something. So this is about Russia, right? It took an hour for Limonov to move from a bench in a locker at Suzuki's small sports arena to red velvet, gold-framed Baroque chair sitting room overlooking the Kremlin's Trinsky. See, in Russia, they have to know someone to have this money. The women are really like sluts and no one cares. They're really like butt-naked nudie girls. They have money. They have wealth and riches for mining. It's hard to take over Russia, but they're bringing people here mouth off to me, right? He was washing his blonde hair, combed in a part where he wore a suit and tie, but his rib cage was seized with pain. He's covered with black and gray bruises. He sat there drinking a glass of tea, but he wished he would come with something stronger and a few painkillers. Pair of beautiful and possibly tall attendants who were giving him the tea probably could have found him something for his pain. They stood just a feet away now, either side of the door main hallway, but Limonov sat there with his mouth shut and pretended he was fine. Volodin had orchestrated tonight's meeting to show the reality and physical presence. It wouldn't do for Limonov, more than a quarter century younger than his present, to any weakness at all. Outside a window on his right, he could see Volodin's Mi-8 helicopter, the rotors slowly spooling up. His gave Romanov the impression that just after this meeting, the president would be heading home to his private residence in Novoroyovo, just west of the city. It was well after 2 a.m., so Limonov thought it was safe, bet his life last meeting of the day. He read stories about how the president would sometimes work straight through the night and then work a full 12 hours the next day. Volodin charged into the room without even looking up at the women on either side of the door. He sat down and finally raised his eyes in Limonov's direction. "What is the FSB like you?" Limonov almost pissed himself. The pain in his ribs disappeared and the muscles in his back clenched entirely. I don't know. Just don't know. It's a problem. Certainly have done nothing that would. He stopped talking when Volodin raised his hand. No, I nothing like that. You were just on the list of most trusted financiers. Limonov's bladder was safe for now. He let a little sigh of relief, but he realized Volodin had intentionally rattled him. He recovered and said, "Oh yes, and as I am sure you know, worked for Gazprom, Rosneft, and several other state-controlled companies. Many of my colleagues also did work setting up FSB and SFR shells around the world. My colleagues, see, they had lots of money. The women are sluts to people with like their nudie girl books. They have butt naked girl books. They're allowed to. They have lots of money. They have books. They really are like sluts to people. Spying on you, huh? They have money. So they came over here, had some money to invest in America. They invested in cars, right? They moved in to take over, attacking people with mental work for learning the language, being robbed and scammed by people. So Americans were supposed to be this important country, brought in like Russians to attack me in mental health. People were trying to rob me in mental or attack me about rape and sex use and mental health. So they're gay, trying to gang rape women in mental health, attack them. Then so they say they're horribly abused in mental health. It's a war crime at this point. Ukrainians coming over to destroy America with Russians with all their money, invade, take over. They said this is what they want to do is attack people at their church to destroy your country, They have cars, I'm gonna rob. I'm just a scammer and a thief, So, they really have people who have to go to war, okay? They have people who have to go to war with them. They really have to kill people, So they really were like in a fight with the Russians. They have money. They have money. The Americans were like supposed to be this important country that came over attacking mental health with Russians. So the doctors were gangsters attacking me, like mobsters, right? You couldn't buy food. I can read it. They said they knew something and they're attacking people about race, attacking people like Russians. They said like Ford was bringing people attacked about race, right? Do like Iran here. You don't like Iran here. She said, we're just scamming you and robbing you because you're attacking women in a mentor. You're war criminals. You're like criminally insane. Said you had a country. You bring in people who scam them and rob them. Blame me. The local kids did work. They couldn't even get a deal. They had no way to pay for stuff. They were like, we're $2 billion. Nobody cared about them. Couldn't care if they could read their own book. Couldn't care if they could get lunch. Couldn't care. Yeah, they couldn't care if they could read their books. They didn't care if they could buy lunch. They couldn't care if they visit. They were worthless trailer park trash, letting people bully them. See, they're gangsters in their mental wards in prisons, right? You said you talk shit about America, so they're evil with your church from Ukraine. Local kids built the place. Don't just blow it up. They get their privacy of their books. So you can discuss their books and laugh and they don't blow it up. But then they have 9/11 anyway. So you try to attack people because they were like the settlers and just set the place on fire. They're not psychotics. They had books. You just try to attack them about it. So they have a language I could read and write. You attack them. They don't. You could write these books, discuss their books. They don't just set the place on fire in their own language, right? You come over here attacking me about their language, So you're attacking me for learning their, like my mom was like a settler and you're attacking at their language, okay? Okay. Okay, let's see. They said they're up here surviving, right? They said they try to survive. So they try to survive and you're talking about learning a language and they were trying to learn how to survive in America, people who don't just explode the place, right? You come over here, talking about trying to learn a language where you can discuss their books, help them get food to eat. They knew something, right? But they don't just set the place on fire, but you're trying to come over here, attack them, and try to defend themselves with your language. You come over here talking about their language and how they're trying to survive, but you don't care. You're trying to survive in their own country with their own language. You're talking about it. My mom was a settler as well. Yeah, the Russians had money. You just come over and attack me, try to invade with Ukrainians, attack me in mental words, try to survive. Who were we talking about? Try to learn their language. They were here for years. So they had a country that was worth something. They tried, then you came over attacking about it. They really tried. Mostly you're supposed to eat food that doesn't kill you. And then you come over attacking about them trying. They still exist, but then you attack me about for trying to learn their language and blame me for stuff.